Okay, and can everyone see my screen okay?
Yes.
All right, awesome. So thank you everyone for attending. This is our Term and Auto-DLM program RFP pre-bid meeting. So just to start, going over with some welcome and etiquette. So just as I kind of mentioned before, we are going to have this meeting recorded just to make sure that we can capture all the questions and send out a deck and send out the recording later. If you're able to keep your microphone muted during the presentation, that would be very helpful in terms just to make sure that the right speaker is going to be able heard to everybody. And we are going to be uploading a PDF of the slide deck and all the corresponding materials within our Piclo platform next week. Just so for the agenda, we're going to be going through introductions, the RFP timeline, then going into the overview of the Term and Auto-DLM programs themselves and the bid event process, and then we'll be handing over to the Piclo team for them to go over their role and also go through the demo. And then after, we will be doing a Q&A that will be live, and then we will kind of close out there. So for introductions, I will start us off by, so I am David Sullivan. I am a senior buyer on our U.S. procurement team, and I will be the main point of contact for the Term and Auto-DLM RFP. And then I will hand that off to Mike.
Hi, yes. I'm Mike Smith, manager of the electric demand response programs for National Grid in New York, and I'm the business lead on this RFP.
Awesome. On the Piclo side, Alex Gannum, Northeast US lead, overseeing the process and making sure we create a simple engagement process for and participation process for people interested in participating in this tender. I'll throw it over to Will to do a quick intro for himself.
Thanks, Alex. Nice to meet everybody. My name's Will Chapman, and I'm a senior commercial manager at Piclo. And in my role, I will be supporting National Grid with this program. So looking forward to it.
And hi, I'm Shubha J. Shankar. I'm the senior DER manager for the Northeast US. So I will be working with National Grid in terms of finding, flexible service providers to join our platform. So I just started last week, so I'm excited to join the team.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, everyone. So moving on to the next slide. So the first thing that we just wanted to point out was the RFP timeline. So our RFP launched at the beginning of December, and we're currently at the pre-bid conference call on the 17th. So for all the written questions that will be due for our Q&A, that will be, the final date for that will be on January 8th. And then we will have all of these answers posted to the Piclo platform on January 22nd. And after that, all the bid submissions are going to be due at the end of February on the 28th, and we will be notifying the bidders of their status by April 1st. And then after that, we plan to have all the contracts executed with each of the selected vendors by the end of May on the 30th. And then that will allow for anyone who's looking to do the early exit deadline. That's going to be by November 1st. And then the actual enrollment deadline and will start at the beginning of April in 2026. And then the contract performance is going to begin actually in May 2026. And then I will hand it over to Mike, just to go over the Term and Auto-DLM program as a whole.
Yeah, thanks, David. Just this is a refresher for many, but it's probably new to some. Just a high-level overview of the differences between the two programs. Term-DLM is a system-wide program, so open to customers across National Grid, Upstate New York Electric Service Territory. We're targeting resource the peak shaving benefits on our transmission distribution system. It's called on no less than 21 hours notice, and again for system-wide use. Auto-DLM is different. It is offered only in specific identified load constraint portions of our distribution system, and is operated both for the system level peak shaving needs as well as local reliability. For 2026, we're planning to they're offering contracts that are giving 21 hours notice for these dispatches as well. Historically, and perhaps in the future, shorter notification times may be necessary. The locations we're looking at are able to get 21 hours notice. That's sort of the key distinction. The 6 stations we're looking at this year are below Grandview, Mexico, Military Road, Pine Bush, West Adams, Carner Road. The other distinction I'll mention this year, Term-DLM, as has been the case historically, is still being operated on a sealed bid, pay as bid model. So you will nominate both a capacity commitment to participate as well as a capacity price. Same as been since the inception of the program. For Auto-DLM, we are moving to a fixed price model to eliminate some of the difficulty we've seen in participant bidding. So each location has a fixed capacity price that's being offered. That is the price that is being accepted for capacity. You can't bid a different price. That is the price that's being offered. So the prices, as well as the full location details for each station, are in table 4.1 of the RFP. I think that's it, David.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. And then going over the bid event process. So this is just how you're going to kind of register for your bid. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to have to register in Piclo Flex itself, complete the company qualifications, and then upload your capacity. So all RFP related questions should be emailed to the Term and Auto-DLM at nationalgrid.com inbox by January 8th. And then if you have any technical questions about the Piclo Flex platform itself, you should reach out to support@picloflex.com and they will be able to assist you. And then the bidders will receive answers to all the questions that were asked prior to January 8th by January 22nd. And then all of these questions will be anonymized and then posted to the Piclo website under our Dynamic Load Management tab. And then all bids will need to be received by February 28th, and we encourage you not to communicate about the bid event with anyone outside of procurement. So now I will hand it over to Alex, and he can take on some of these Piclo slides.
Thank you, David. Just wanted to clarify what Piclo is doing here as a whole. So our role typically is to help as an independent third-party marketplace, help utilities like National Grid who are looking for third parties to provide grid services, which you see on the left. We are the platform for that. And on the right, we are connecting with DER and DR providers and aggregators who can provide flexibility to the grid, upload their capacity, and submit bids for providing those services. Effectively, we're trying to bring some more revenue opportunities and make it easier for DER providers to engage with utilities like National Grid and other markets. So we're really here to help you guys. And our goal is to increase participation and make it easy and scalable for you to participate in revenue opportunities like demand response programs, DER programs, et cetera, by providing a more streamlined, easier, kind of user-friendly process, and make it repeatable so that you can fill out information once and be able to have access to multiple different programs and markets. You can go to the next slide, David. I'll give a quick Piclo platform overview. I'll try to keep it short and sweet so that we give enough time for Q&A at the end. This is a quick snapshot of what you'll actually see in a second. If you'd like to follow along in the demo, which I'll start to present in a second, you can visit usa.picloflex.com. So, David, I'm going to steal the screen from you, if that's all right.
Go for it.
So, great. Let me know if you have any issues showing it on your side.
Looks good on our end.
Awesome. Actually, I'm going to switch it over to just my other screen so that don't get any notifications over there. There we go. Make it a little bit easier. Okay, so this is the usa.picloflex.com. In order to view the programs like Auto-DLM, Term-DLM, and the non-wires ones that are up there, you're gonna hit that button, which is View Competitions, and then you'll see all of these Auto-DLM areas listed here. You'll see Term-DLM down here, and then you'll also see the new Prumkill NWA or non-wire alternative program, which we're also running concurrently with National Grid right now, which I encourage you guys to participate in. If you'd like, you can click into any of these areas. Basically, as I hover over them, you'll see a darker purple spot show up, and that is where the area is. So for instance, if we click into the Auto-DLM Granby, you'll get to see more details of what this area looks like and the needs of that area. All of these competitions or program areas are open until the end of February, 5 p.m. for participation. You'll see details of each of these, such as what connection voltage a resource has to be connected at, and they're looking at 13.2 kV or anything below that. Need direction is, demand response or putting energy back onto the grid. It's all active power. And then the flat service fee for this one, it's 195,000 per megawatt per year. After that, you'll get to see all the details of this specific opportunity. So as Mike mentioned, May 1st to September 30th, this is a 5-year program starting 2026, ending end of September 30th, 2030. The dispatch windows for this one are 1 to 6 p.m. All days of the week. Approximately 7 utilization events you'll be called for, 4 hours per event. They're looking for 1.02 megawatts, at least 50 kW minimum aggregate size, and runtime of 4 hours. All of this is in the RFP in the table that Mike mentioned. This is hopefully an easier way to see these on a more user-friendly or granular basis. You can do that for any of the other areas in the Auto-DLM or Term-DLM. Term-DLM covers the entire National Grid upstate New York territory, so more details around here, but similarly, 3-year contracts, 4 to 8 p.m., Monday to Friday, May 1st, 2026 through end of September 2028, and more details around here. Awesome. So that's a quick snapshot of what these areas look like if you take the RFP information and put it up. What I want to show you now is a quick overview of the steps that you need to take in order to participate here. So if you go to piclo.energy, and then if you go up into this resources tab, and then to SO profiles, you'll then navigate to the National Grid one. Which is down here. Click that, and then you get to see all of the National Grid opportunities that are live right now and details around it. So right now, the current opportunities are the new Prumkill load relief NWA, and then dynamic load management, Term, and Auto-DLM. You can click into these individually. We're going to click into the DLM one to show you. This is a short overview of some high-level requirements to participate, like the utility interval meter, 21 hours advance notice for both Term and Auto-DLM, aggregate minimum capacity of 50 kW, and ready to operate by May 1st, 2026. You'll get the materials down here, RFP, NDA, all other proposal documents. We'll put the meeting recording and slides here shortly. Instructions on who to email, the Term and Auto-DLM at nationalgrid.com for any questions. And then we'll post Q&A here and make sure that you submit your questions by Jan 8th, 2025. Then finally, these are the short steps to participate. First, register. So in order to do that, I'll show you guys a quick play. If you're on usa.picloflex.com, just click register and fill out these few short fields, and then click continue and go through them and register. Then you're going to complete company qualification. This is if you are already an approved DSP or a New York ISO DR provider, you can skip this step and just sign the NDA. But if you are new to the program, then you'll have to complete this brief questionnaire. I'll show that in a second. Then I'll show you quickly how to do the asset qualification. We have a template, just have to fill out a few quick fields and upload that. And then finally, the bidding process, which I won't show today, but this is pretty straightforward. For Auto-DLM, it's a service fee anyway, so it's flat. And for Term-DLM, you will need to bid in a price. Great. So I will show you all how to fill out, access and fill out the company qualification. So you will log in your details here. Go. Then you'll go over to this Manage tab. You will then click Applications. And then you'll go to National Grid DLM. This one was already approved, but you'll have a button at the top right that says, it will say View Application or Start Application. You'll go through that just to show you what this looks like. You'll have a few panes over here with then fields on the right for all the information that needs to be inputted. Any documents that are required can be found that are linked to in the specific questions to make it a little bit easier for you. Once you're done with that, after you finish each page, you can hit save and continue. You'll be able to save the progress and come back to it. And then at the end, you will declare and submit the application. So that is step 2 in this process. To complete step 3 is also a relatively quick process. So first you download the template, which I have it pulled up over here. You'll download it. It'll come straight to this Planned Assets tab. Now you're not required to upload any of your operational or in development assets. You're welcome to do it, but for Auto-DLM and Term-DLM, you don't have to. You will fill out, you will follow these instructions. First, by reviewing the list of opportunities. These are each of the Term-DLM and Auto-DLM locations. For any ones that you are not participating in, you can you can delete the rows. Then you just need to fill out the areas in red. So area ref and asset ref and asset name. You can put your org name, you can put a resource type, whatever you want. These are just for your internal purposes to track capacity. And then you'll put the capacity of those sets of resources that you're proposing in megawatts. Great, and then that's really it. You'll delete these rows, you'll save it locally to your computer, and then you will go back to your platform. You will go to the Manage tab, hit Assets, and then select under Upload File. You hit Select File, select that file, it will upload. And then once you go back to the map, you will have assets that show up on the map like this. They'll show up in likely a dark blue dot or black dot. If you are already approved in your for your qualification application, then these will show up as green dots or lighter blue dots. Awesome. When it comes time, by the end of February, you'll click Manage and then hit Bids to complete the bidding step right here, number 4, which is the 4th and final one for you. And then you'll click Submit New Bids. And then you'll see a pop-up with the name of the program or area that you have an asset in. That could be Term-DLM or any of the 6 Auto-DLM locations. And then you'll click bid, and it'll show you capacity, which you'll fill out with the capacity that you put in. For instance, if you uploaded 2 megawatts, it would be here, max runtime of 4 hours, and then this will be formatted for the service fee. So you just need to submit one value. Great. Hopefully that was quick and easy. We are here for any support on the platform once folks get to that area. Feel free to reach out to us. We'll include a few links once David can show the slides again, but we're here to help with anything on the platform. Feel free to reach out to us, email us. We'll set up a demo and can show you these steps in real time. I think the Piclo team will just finish off on 2 or 3 quick last slides and then hand it back over to National Grid. Thanks, David. A few last tips to remember: don't leave things until the last minute. This is a new platform for some of y'all, so would not recommend waiting until the last week of February to log in and register and start interacting with it. I would suggest even going out right now as we're talking and registering for a profile to at least get a bit familiar. Reach out to us with any help. If you need any help at all on the platform, that's what we're here for. Give us feedback. We want to make the platform and things easier for you as a whole. We will send out the recording and the presentation in the next few days or early next week to everyone who registered, so you can review those. We have help articles and getting started guides on our Piclo support page, and also suggest checking out National Grid's profile page, which I was just showing everyone with all the resources. Awesome. One note I made earlier was if you are already an approved CSP with National Grid or a New York ISO DR provider, you don't need to complete all these steps. The only ones you do need to complete are registering for an account on the Piclo platform, fill out and sign the NDA, which is Appendix E in the RFP materials, and send that to support@PicloFlex, and then upload your proposed capacity and submit your dollar bid. So you don't have to, basically you're skipping the qualification step. You don't need to submit any of that information since you're already qualified for the program. We'll turn it over to National Grid in just a second to take any questions, but these are the things we would suggest going to do right now. Register on the platform, visit usa.picloflex.com and click the register button at the top right. Set up a one-on-one with us if you have any questions on the platform. Email flex-usa@piclo.energy, and then complete the company qualification questions and the asset capacity upload. Bidding closes February 28th, 5 p.m. No, it's the holidays and things are quite busy just wrapping things up, but highly recommend you try to register right now. You'll get a few communications from us in early January to remind you of the deadlines, give you some steps again, and make sure that you're on track to bid by February 28th. I think that's it from us. David, feel free to take it away on the last pieces.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Alex. So now we will open it up for some Q&A. I'm first just going to check the chat to see if there's any questions there. There was one that came in that said, will the presentation and or recording be sent to participants of this meeting? Yes, it will be. I think it was mentioned a few times later on the presentation, but it will be available on the Piclo website and posted up there as well. And so then we have a question that just came in. Can EV chargers participate in this program? So I will hand that over to Mike.
Yeah, so I mean, at a high level, both Term and Auto-DLM programs are technology agnostic. We are not choosing the type of DER or flexibility strategy that you use. Both programs are based upon facility level billing interval metering, and performance in events is calculated against 510 baseline. The full procedure is one of the appendices of the RFP. I don't remember which letter. So I would encourage you to review the baseline methodology and the performance requirements and see if they're suitable to your DER type or your site. But at a high level, we are not choosing eligible, not eligible methods of participation.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike. I think that was the last question within. Oh, actually, another one just came in. So, is there any limitation on eligibility for front of the meter 5 megawatt energy storage assets to participate in the program? For example, is National Grid looking to accumulate multiple assets per substation, or would a single asset be useful?
I'm just trying to capture the question here. As far as Auto-DLM, the station level needs are listed in the RFP. None of them are as high as 5 megawatts. So a 5 megawatt, not all 5 megawatts of a single storage system for Auto-DLM would be eligible for that compensation, only the capacity required. As far as eligibility of that asset type, and there are some considerations, right? There are rules around value stack and DLM program interaction that I think I would encourage you to refer to our Rule 65 of our electric tariff if you're looking for specifics on sort of value stack interaction with the programs. Perhaps that's worth a more expanded written question, David, that we can do in the written Q&A. It's tough to answer much more than that in the chat. So, is there min-max bidding prices? Again, so for Term-DLM, is the only program accepting a bid capacity price this vintage year. There are not min and max. I guess maybe I'll leave it to Piclo. I don't know if there's like a min or max price that will throw a flag or break the software. But functionally, there's not a min and max price that you're able to bid. There is certainly a maximum price that will clear that will clear the ceiling price for that auction. So from that stance, yes, but I mean, in general, name the price that is acceptable to you for participation, and we'll go through the bid clearing process that way. What was the location of the guidance for value stack interaction? Yeah, so Rule 65 of the Niagara Mohawk Electric Tariff covers the sort of the intricacies of the term and Auto-DLM program as it relates to other tariff-based rules, rate classifications, things like that, things that are sort of can't be incorporated within the RFP. So Rule 65 of the electric tariff, and I believe Rule 40 of the tariff is the full value of DER tariff rule, which again, if you're talking front of the meter asset, you're probably interested in, and both sections sort of contain cross references to how those two offerings are able to interact, sort of what compensation components are eligible and how.
Okay,
Wolfgang
awesome.
Faust here with New Energy. Would it be possible to return to the timeline slide?
Yes.
I had a question about once we submit a bid, and once it's sort of approved by National Grid, are we? So on 4/1/2025, all bidders are notified of their status. From then until May 30th, we can remove or delete a bid for any reason, right? As long as we don't execute the bid by 5:30 for any reason, we can back out, right?
Yeah, so functionally, when you execute the contract for capacity with us, 5:30 being the sort of goal deadline there, that's when you sort of become on the hook for delivering that capacity on May 1st, and for 3 years for a Term-DLM contract, 5 years for an Auto-DLM contract. So until the contract is signed, you don't owe us the megawatts, I guess, so to speak.
Got it. Thank you.
Are there any other questions that anyone would like to ask? You can feel free to unmute your mic and just ask if you'd like. So does anyone have any other questions? So I will take silence as a no.
I'm gonna
If you
offer one
have
question.
any, oh, perfect.
This is Stuart Chair from Armada Power. Somebody mentioned that the capacity will be determined based on facility level interval metering. If we have revenue grade device specific meters, is it possible that those can be used?
Yeah, we're only allowing National Grid interval meter data as source of MV for these programs.
Okay.
Okay, does anyone have any other questions that they'd like to ask? Oh, all right. If not, so we will be just have a last slide here. So just as a wrap up, as a reminder to register for this RFP, we encourage you to go to PicoFlex and then contact the PicoFlex support team if you have any issues. So we'd like to thank you all for joining today, and then we will be sending out the list of the Q&A here in a written format that was done during this live meeting, as well as the recording of this presentation on the Piclo website. So thank you all so much for your time, and I hope you have a great holiday season ahead of you. Thank you all.
Thank
Have
you.
a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thanks,
Everyone.
everybody.